Moin, moin. I recently played this map today 185, and it was just way too laggy at the end. I play on kind of like the highest spawning rate of zombies and the biggest like swarm intensity on 7 and horde size on 1.6. Um, but I had the layers activated, and after 100, 120 days, it started to lag pretty bad. And after 150 something days, I called it quits because it was literally 2 FPS, and there was no way. Like this, it's no, it's no fun to play any game at fucking 2 FPS. So I thought I'll just turn off the layers again and keep everything else the same. Like no swimming infected, obviously, um, and just show basically at the start what I do, um, because I got a question mainly on how I got the amount of steel and generally the resources to do all of this. I think food is no problem in this game anymore. Um, the biggest problem is probably having enough workers, like in general, and yeah, honestly, with enough people you can get anything. Um, if you, I deconstructed all these buildings, and that just takes a fuck ton of time, and most of them don't really have too much. Like 120 is already pretty good if you look at this building. Like there's so many buildings where there's like basically nothing there. Um, so yeah, you need to deconstruct a lot of them. You could use them, um, but the problem with that is they are fucking tiny. Like, yes, it doesn't cost that much, like a little bit of wood, but yeah, like I'm not having 15 buildings for workers. And if you go for like storage, then these are worth basically nothing. Like 500, yeah, I take that. 1,000 would be noise, 700, 600. There's a couple good ones here, but generally these small ones I would avoid. Um, you should do a few of them, like maybe like one here, and then one here, and one here or here, so that they're a little bit spread out. Um, because every worker goes from where he's producing something to the warehouse and back again. Um, and therefore, if the walking distance between where you're producing stuff and where you're basically like having all your shit stored, the shorter that distance, the faster everything will work. Of course, you can't build everything on this tiny start island. I did manage to get a lot of it down here, but especially like farming and shit, you will not be able to do anything down here. You need this place later on um, to place on the greenhouses. I would generally advise everyone for the beginning, like the first few buildings you should build is like one for storage, because you only have 300. Um, so I would probably on this map go for like this one in storage, maybe this one, and this one. Just start with one. If you have like 1,000 or 2,000 in the beginning, that's enough for then. Later on, just for having it like more easily available, just have like a couple thousand, because you will need a lot of food and a lot of ammo later on, and of course resources. And if you're constantly maxed out in the warehouse, then it's no fun. Um, and also not very efficient. So yeah, warehouse is one of the first things I would personally do. I'm just gonna put one here and one here and probably I'd love to have one in the front here, so that if my squads are in this circle, you can see like when you hover over the building, you get this circle. Every squad that's within that circle will automatically re-ammo, and vehicles will also refuel if I'm thinking about this correctly. So yeah, I will put one here, and even though this building would have more storage, or this building, probably also this building, I'm gonna put it here just for the area around it, basically. Um, I personally would not build all three at the same time. Build like two of them, because in a second we're gonna start deconstructing buildings to get this. What do we need? Oh, it doesn't show it anymore. Why am I blind? Yeah, you need some some resources, basically. Yeah. After or while you're deconstructing and constructing these, one of the first things is research. You gotta get this shit up as soon as possible. It's not like the main super priority to get it like up in the first few days. If it's in day 10 you get it up, then it's no problem as well. But having that up is like as early as possible is a good thing. Of course, you also need barracks. So let's just probably take this one, honestly. 35, 39, yeah, let's just take this one. And we might also need a second one, to be honest. Just for the beginning. Maybe I'll just keep that entire row and deconstruct the rest, because these buildings are okay. And if you're like constructing the buildings with this right here, we can't do it right now because we haven't researched it. But if you're constructing these, you can't really like squeeze them in between like a tight space. Like let's say if we would remove this building and then we'd want to build a new building in there, it would almost be impossible. You would have to make it so tiny, because they need a lot of space on the site, that it would just not be worth it at all. And probably not even doable, because you can't make it too small or like too slim. So yeah, when deconstructing buildings to later on build more buildings, leave like an entire space free. If it's too close to a road, that's not too bad. You can pretty much build to the edges here. But other buildings will definitely block it. So keep that in mind. Yeah. So for the very first days, I would just build warehouses, build the barracks or the Schutzraum, and then just get out there. We only have 10 people left. We'll get everyone out here. And then just have 18 people left. Let's put all of these into deconstructing. It is smarter probably for the beginning to look at what buildings to deconstruct. Like we need wood. We only need wood. For everything we need wood. So it would be the smartest to not destroy buildings with stone in them. So what you can do is just look at them. And for example, this one has a lot of wood. Like 19 is not the most you'll ever get, but it's not bad. And the building that only gives you stone is basically worth nothing right now. Here, 37. Of course, it will take a lot of time because there's also a lot of other resources, but 37 wood, we will take that. This one is also a banger building for getting wood. This one as well. This one really isn't. But as you can see, there's also a lot of buildings with a lot of stone. At my first playthrough, I thought that's pretty fucking useless. Like, what the fuck am I gonna do with stone? But if you construct buildings, then you can use all that stone to just build the next building. If you build like a building that is like the size of this entire lot here, then it would definitely cost like 2.5, 2.4 thousand bricks. So getting 100 alone from like one building is definitely needed. You will need a lot of brick. And to get that, you'll need a lot of workers because, of course, sometimes it looks like, oh, hey, there's a brick pile here, and you just have to, send some people, but then it's like 10 bricks. So I found that bricks, most of the time, if you see like a pile of bricks, it's pretty fucking deceiving. With wood and steel, it's mostly different. Yeah, you can see like one pile and it's already like 30. Let's see how much steel there is. Okay, steel is also pretty much a scam here. But steel is no problem, because there's always cars everywhere, there's lanterns everywhere. If you just look at it and just go... Like steel, in the beginning especially, is never a problem. If you just collect all this, 200. Just like that. Up here, there's even more probably. Yeah, just like a quick thing, 500 steel. Like steel in the early game is not a problem at all. It's just getting those worker numbers up fast. Not too fast, because you also don't want to run out of fuel immediately, but relatively fast. So yeah, what we can do now, I personally do it in a way where I have two guys doing like all the looting in the... Oh, whoops. In the... fuck me, man. Oh, why is shift not working anymore?
Operator.
There we go. I personally have like the first two, like loot everything here, and then the third motherfucker is gonna go up here
Going there
to get that research. I hope we're gonna be lucky and find a car on the way, because then we can use probably the night. The first night is always pretty chill, to get more vehicles. I'm gonna show you in a second, but it's basically just getting all your people out there, and we have to check real quick. Am I remotely having enough? Yeah, kind of. Should be.
there's a vehicle in sight.
Perfect. It's a shit vehicle, but it's drivable, and it will just get us to the next vehicle.
Reporting.
But before I forget, I can send this guy here. Okay, yeah, that's basically your first day. Build a warehouse or two, and start gathering some resources, and build a
Where are we going?
barrack or a Schutzraum. I have honestly no idea. Like the other one is the house, but what's
Adaptation
this
complete.
in English? I'll just say barracks. You know what I mean. The other one is the squad barracks, and it's the HQ. Yeah. As you can see, this map is probably the most beginner-friendly map you can have. You can get a lot of stuff in here. Especially if you deconstruct every building and build new buildings, then you can have like almost everything here. Except farming, and later on some housing.
We're running out of resources.
Yes. So I kind of forgot about these guys. But as you can see, the first night
We're not alone here. They're coming.
is always pretty chill, yeah. First night is always pretty chill. All the zombies that are running around in the beginning, at least in story mode, I don't know if that's always the case, but in story mode, they will
Spotted.
always... Okay. They will always leave, run around them like this. Like with their HP basically more than halfway drained already. So you don't really have to do any of the hard lifting. Which is kind of needed in the beginning, to be honest. Oh, this guy already fucking cleared it. Holy shit.
Ready for action.
Yeah, I don't want to take him back immediately. I kind of want to go on a little drive for more cars.
We're missing resources.
Get up, everyone! Work's waiting!
Fuel is not looking too great on this car.
Sir, we've spotted.
I personally always just
stay back or walk around
the
them.
first people. I
Do not
don't even know
engage.
where he found them, or if they're at the main base maybe. But yeah, as you can see, they already constructed the two warehouses, which now should make these two constructions way faster, because as you can see, they just go from here to there and then back, and not from here to there to here to there to here to there. They can just build everything way quicker and also deconstruct everything way quicker. Yeah. So...
Operator, we're on the move.
Let's speed things up again. You don't want to speed it up
We
too.
found a new car.
Oh, it's a tank truck, bro. What the hell?
Adaptation done.
I personally slow it down whenever I've meet new
Chief,
people,
we've stumbled upon some people.
because if you
They're
keep it on
weird and
max
aggressive.
speed, then
On top
time
of
will
that,
pass
some
so
were
fucking
wounded by the
fast, and
infected.
it always
They're
takes like
carrying
5
some
seconds
resources,
basically
though.
for when you drive to someone to them reacting to it and you getting like this message down here. So if you're in like mega super speed, then it's just 5 seconds
Chief, do
times
you
4,
copy?
and here it's just like 5 seconds at normal speed. So I should probably accept these
Ask
guys.
them to join us.
In the beginning, you can basically accept anyone. Your approval
Roger.
rating will go down, but they're just so happy to get out of there that it's not that much of a problem.
Multiple hostiles. Armed
That
group.
is a problem. Especially if they have like an AK guy or a sniper guy, then do not drive into them.
Leave them be.
We're on the move.
Yeah,
This
shit.
vehicle looks useful.
We can now do this move, because this car is emptizzle. Can just swap it for this one and then go on the hunt. I hope I find better vehicles than these 3, because this one is basically like, I don't know, I don't want to call it useless, but it's really not that great.
Where are we going?
So yeah, we can take a look. Okay, there's some police up there. I was about to cry. Yeah, we have a shit ton of research here. I don't know, medical supplies here, but you don't really need medical supplies, to be honest. Like,
Building clear.
you'll find the sudden med pack in almost all
Going
buildings.
there.
So I personally never had like a moment where I was like, oh my god, I need
We
med
found a
packs.
new car.
Oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me, bro. Yeah, med packs, like especially like all the hospital stuff. In my entire in my other run, I did 158 days without ever doing any of this or this. Not a single one. Because you don't really need it if you don't progress in the story beyond a certain point. You can take the research and bring it home and even build the
Receiving.
antenna, because the antenna is the best way to get new people.
This vehicle looks useful.
Bro, you gotta be kidding me. What the fuck is this? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I have to enable cheats first. Show vehicles. Because I'm pretty fucking sure. Okay, there's one truck. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. That's a restart, bro. One truck and one pickup truck. And all the other cars are total ass. It's not even like a SUV or something. Yeah, that's a restart. But I just wanted to show how I start my games. So that's not too bad. Basically, after that, you can see we already built one of the houses. All they're yapping about is that ammo is about to run out, but that's no problem.
Ready
These
for
two
action.
guys can start doing their shit over there. Ah, it's the other guy. I was just confused by this other route, but that's just the new refugees we're taking.
Somebody's coming.
Yeah, basically, this is
There are
what you
some
do.
people here.
You go around the map, you look for good vehicles, like the truck, for example. Pickup truck is good. These cars are all ass. That's like, okay, I would kind of take that if I have nothing else. But the tank trucks have no loot storage at all. Yeah, I should have probably taken that out, to be honest. Yeah. And this car, yeah, it's fast, but that's really it. Like, I don't know who uses that to actually loot, because you might as well send him out by foot. Yeah, once you got the good vehicles, I would just go for every squad in one vehicle and then just let them loot all of the surrounding area. Everything that they can reach in within like, let's say like 3 or 4 hours with their cars is surrounding area. So that's everything in here basically. Because you can always have them go out, and then either with this here you can call them back, or you just go out, have them like this, and click on anywhere here. Yeah, you do that for the first few days, and you don't have to build any like food stuff. You don't have to research any of the agriculture stuff and food preserving stuff and shit. You can leave that all to like day 50 or day 60, depending on how it goes for you. But you will find so much food and ammo and fuel in just these normal ass buildings that you don't really have to get out of your way to
The
get
place
anywhere.
is adapted.
As you can see, we already have a lot of shit.
The place is adapted.
You can see they pull out food and fuel out of all of this, even guns. Holy shit. Didn't know that. Yeah. For later on, you have, I think, yeah, this up here is the joint military base. I don't know. It's a joint military base. That's all I can tell you. And down here is like a naval ammo storing facility, basically. So all of this is military, but I personally only got 2 tanks. I didn't search every tile because by the time that I was doing expeditions in my old save, there was already so many layers here that it was basically impossible for me to loot there without losing like 2 squads for every tile I explore here. And I'm not too big into losing squads. Yeah. After you brought the research back home, what I research first is construction. Because on this map especially, most of your resources will come from deconstructing buildings, and then you will construct buildings to have buildings with like you construct the biggest buildings possible, basically, with like 100 people working chemical factory, 100 people working ammo factory, and so on and so on. So what I do personally is go with tool fabrication first, then metal recycling to just like constantly boost your metal protection. It's just nice to have. Then workflow management, you just deconstruct 20% faster, which is perfectly for what we're doing here. And then this one to just build the buildings faster. I'm pretty sure if you research this, you can also build buildings with metal. And if you research this, you can build buildings with like cement and stuff. But personally, I just use bricks. I haven't done too much research into the others because it's not that hard to get that many bricks in here, so just that's what I'm going with. After I basically got this one, and then this one, I go here because it's pretty useful sometimes to just build a building where you want it to be without having to build like a 30-story skyscraper. Once you've done this, you will probably already be pretty far down. You can boost research pretty fucking good if you just have your squads and cars, and then since this is pretty far away, I would probably wait for like the full moons. And whenever it's like full moon, 6 p.m., you can do 2 things basically. You can either just drive off immediately after 6 p.m. and use the entire night and like most of the next day to get back and research and loot all of these research buildings. But first of all, you can't loot all of these in one day, and second of all, just driving from here to there is probably like, I don't know, like 8 hours, 10 hours in game. So you have to be aware that you should make it home before nightfall, because especially if you use a lot of the trucks, on most maps you'll find like 2 or 3 of these trucks. So
Wrap it up, folks. Time to call it a day.
Yes. So you won't be that fast, and especially if they run out of fuel as well, because you only loot the research buildings, you might run out of fuel, and then they literally like crawl back home. And if there's only like one squad of zombies right behind them, they will destroy your building and all the people in it. And you don't want that, because at the best it's like a building with like, it's like a vehicle with like 40 slots full of research. And if you have to like repair that all the way out here, that's basically impossible. Your workers will use 90% of the day to even get there, if they get there. And then it's like nightfall and they will try to make it back, they will get killed, and everything just goes to shit. So just avoid people, like a car breaking down in any way, shape, or form possible, because it will not be a good time. Let's just say it like that. But what I wanted to say is that if you loot all of these in like the full moon nights, you can then use all that research to just go faster through here, because you then don't have to have like 30 people in there that are working on research just to get the research points. You can always have something being researched, and that just speeds it up really fast. Once you have all of these, I would go for this one and this one to get the best walls immediately. In the beginning, you can totally get away with just building like the metal gates. I found out that 3 gates is perfectly fine. You can survive almost anything with 3 gates full of people, and especially if it's like these gates, because there's like 6 people per gate, and if you give like these 18 people then LMGs and got your money, your ammo production up, then there is nothing that can kill you. Like I've seen multiple hordes and hordes after hordes, and then a stormy day, and it was like night, stormy day, night, and still nothing got even close to it. No barbed wire, nothing. If you just have 3 gates on one small entry like this, then there is no way that they will ever make it through. Also because they have so much HP that there's no way. There is literally no way. Yeah, once I got a gate up, I mostly go for the repair workshop, because it's just a thing nice to have, basically. You don't have to manually repair every building after like a big raid. Let's say your ammo ran out by half of it and you had to do some crazy stuff, like driving over them with the cars and shit to get them to die, and that caused a lot of damage to your buildings. Then you just have this guy with like 4 or 5 people in it, and they will repair everything within the day. No questions asked. So another thing, after you have researched this one, I think, yes, you will get the houses. So as soon as you get the houses, build only houses. Only build like the barracks for like the first 100 people maybe, and then immediately go to the houses, because they just love living in houses. And the happier they are, the faster they build stuff, or like the faster they work in general, and the more people are born. Which just makes sense. If you're happy, more children. After all of that, I would probably start either with a tool factory. Yeah, I'd probably build a tool factory and a scrapyard. Probably a scrapyard and then tool factory. Once you have these 2 up, then you can get into the real factories, which is the chemical factory and the weapon factory, which are equally useful, because to make ammo you need fuel, and therefore you need a lot of chemical factories. Let me just spoil that. You need a lot of chemical factories, especially if you later on want to have ammo for tanks, because that is just like ridiculously stupid to make. You have to make chemicals, you have to make fuel and explosives, which also require fuel. And then after that, you need to combine the wait a second. Ugh, I had to take a massive shit, and I completely lost track. But I'm pretty sure that I was talking about the explosive factories and the chemical factories. Yeah, you can completely ignore this one. I mostly ignore this one as well, because it's just fucking stupid, because it can run out of stuff, and then you just have this thing that you have to deconstruct. It also takes up a lot of space. I'm really not a fan of these. I would only use them if there's like a map with very, 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 very few buildings. If you don't like cities and you're more like a guy who likes to play on like small towns and stuff, maybe a hometown or whatever, then I would definitely, then you have to use it basically. But for a normal run, I think I built like 5 of these over like 250 hours of gaming. So for me, there's no point in these. This one, the vehicle factory, is also super late game. You don't really need it in the early game. Um, you almost kind of don't really need it in the late game too, to be honest. If you have enough gates, then who gives a fuck? If you have a car with 3 guys, like the driver and 3 guys with LMGs, then it doesn't really make that much of a difference if they have a LMG on top. Um, maybe ammo. Maybe they have more ammo. And you can give them a little bit more storage and stuff. But that's like so late game. And it takes also so many resources. Like I think if you build one armored personal carrier, like not the tank, but like the machine gun armored car, I think it's like, don't let me lie, but it's like 500 metal and 100 or 120 fuel, so like a lot of stuff. Yeah, so this is like super late game. Yeah, you can also ignore like all of this for the beginning. Build metal gates, and if you have to, build walls. But on this map, you don't really have to build a single wall. Build like one gate this way, one gate on this side, and then one gate like connecting between the two, and you're set. You can build walls like on the edges of it and stuff, but you don't really need to be honest. The 3 gates is so much firepower, they won't really care. And of course you can get the guns by just looting these police stations. I'm pretty sure if you loot all these police stations, especially because there are pretty big ones here, you'll get more than enough pistols to equip your towers and use the AKs for you guys. Especially in the beginning when your ammo production isn't that up yet. Yeah, kindergartens, I think I built like 1 bar in all of my time of playing this game as well. It's not really necessary. It's just another thing that takes wheat away from you. And wheat, as I will tell you in a second, is super fucking important. So anything that takes wheat but doesn't really give you any crazy benefits is not really worth it. I would just build more than enough kindergartens and 1 ginormous gathering part. Like I play with max population of 2000, and at the beginning of the run I'm like, okay, how long do I want to play this? How far do I want to see if I can get? And I think on my New York save I made like up to 1,500, 1,700 people. So if you want to go that far, build your gathering place that far, because you can't build, like if you have 1,600 population, you can't build 2 gathering places with like 800 people, because they all want to gather at one place. If they can't, they get mad, and you'll get like a message up here like the missing ammunition right now, and it will decrease your happiness pretty fast. It will start at like 5%, 10%, 15, 20, and then it will just go up. I don't know where's the max, but it can definitely go up to 15 or 20%. And if you have next to that any other problem, like if you accept a group of people that you guys won't like, then you might be fucked and people will leave and shit, and that is just annoying. Yeah, antenna, definitely build that as soon as you can. Always invite new people over this menu. Do it like as often as you can, because if you play with a lot of infected, chances pretty high that most of the time they will get killed before they even reach your base. So the more people, the better. I also always let them come here on their own. I never sent a squad to like protect them or whatever, because with like these massive swarms and massive group sizes, you would need like 3 squads or whatever to be like somewhat able to defend them out there. And even then, it's not guaranteed. If there's like too many infected, then 3 of your squads will also die next to them. So I personally just let them come to me. I also never built these. I always, like, if it comes to it, super late game as well. Super late game. I always go down to operation, like research all of the ones in front, because then you can build the hospitals, and they are just way better than this one. It's like the same thing with like the barracks and the houses. There's no point in building these if you can have the better one. So yeah, go for that. Where were we? Yeah. Also, never built this. Pretty fucking pointless. Yes, you will see what kind of weather you'll get, but this would only be like really helpful for like the full moons. But to be honest, you can just reload a save. Either just if you like, let's say it's a full moon, but you realize you were building something in your base and you realize it too late, and it's already like 10 p.m. or whatever. So like already 4 hours have passed. You can just reload the save of 6 p.m. or 6 a.m. on that day if you even wanted to, and just go on a massive tour. Because if you go back to 6 a.m., you have the entire day, the entire night, and the entire next day to loot. So I would use that time to just loot everything that's like super far away. You don't need to loot this food that's like super far away, because you will get more than enough food out of like the normal buildings. As you can see, we have more than enough food already, and it's just these 2 guys looting without even a car or anything. So it's like food in like literally the first 40 to 50 days, food is not a problem. Especially if you get good vehicles in the beginning, not a problem. Yeah, this one, I don't think I even have this one. I think you have to buy like a $5 bundle or something, I don't know. But yeah, repair workshop, as we already said, super useful. I have built this once. Yeah, but honestly also not that. It's like super duper late game, and by that time you should already have the research for this one, where you can already like do all of it, you know? You can already choose the traits that your next squads will have, so there's no point really in doing this right here. I don't know. It's also not that great of a boost. The best boosts are the ones where they get like 10% more loot, they drive more fuel efficient, and then either more HP or the one where they can see further. Those are the ones that I mostly take. Yeah, this one, self-explanatory. This one is pretty good. For the end, basically. But it's also like super late game. I'm reading this for the first time, to be honest. I did not know that there's a fucking graveyard and a crematorium. What the fuck? Okay, I've never built those. Was there an update? I might have never scrolled down that fast, that far. Okay, that's crazy. That's actually crazy. But yeah, as you can see, you can get away with a lot of buildings, with like never building some of the buildings. Also, you can definitely get to, like on my 185 day save, I think I had like 4 squads at the end. So you also don't need too many squads. More squads can be better, definitely. especially for expeditions. If you want to do expeditions, then you should have, like if you want to do them like regularly, then you definitely need more than 4 squads. Um, because I also use the full moons for expeditions most of the time. But if you just have like 8 squads, then you can send 2 squads to here, for example, to loot this, and 2 squads to this, for example. Then have 4 squads still being able to defend and loot surrounding areas for ammo and fuel and food. And yeah, that's kind of how I do it. You start with warehouses, barracks, the normal houses, a whole bunch of research, then scrapyard, tool factory, and then weapon and chemical. The tree planting house and the lumber mill are also good, but also not super necessary in the beginning. Like if you're really strapped for resources and people building stuff, you can always just plant trees and cut trees. It's not as efficient and you need more people, but it will definitely work. Like it's not that much of a problem, to be honest. Yeah, I would definitely remove all these buildings here, like most of these buildings here, and then construct new buildings there in their place. Yeah, I think that's basically it for how to start. And the video is already 40, 40 or 50 minutes long, probably. 42 minutes, yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. I'm pretty stunned right now because they really like it here for some reason. Normally they hate me more by that time, but I was also paused for a lot of time. So yeah, I would definitely I will not play this save. I will restart definitely because one truck is unacceptable. Yeah. So what you can do is whenever you go into the match, you can always just do show and then vehicles, and then it will just tell you where the vehicles are. In my opinion, if you say you're doing a completely not like a run without cheating at all, then this is cheating. But if you're just playing for yourself and you don't claim that it's like a completely console command free run, then just use show vehicles. Because it makes no sense to play this safe, to be honest. One truck and one combi. That's all there is. No, it's one combi. That's literally all there is. That is insane. I've never had that. That is literally one of the worst things you can have. But yeah, this map is awesome. That's all I wanted to say, and that's how I start my games. Or that's how I basically play them out. Yeah. If you are for some reason still listening to this video, I'd love to know. I'd love to know. Like, write a comment or whatever. Because I'm pretty sure that not a single person, even if this gets like 100 views, I'm pretty sure that not one person will be still here at the end. No hate or whatever, because I just talk a lot, and sometimes it takes over. It takes over. But that's just all I know for now. I would love to give you some advice or tips on how the game runs better, but I can only give you like the most like basic tips ever to like turn down all the settings to the lowest. This one says it increases the the power. I don't know. It just makes the game run smoother, but takes a little bit more space on your disk or your SSD basically. I don't think anyone has a disk anymore. Yeah. What can I say as well? That's basically it. There's no. I'd love to give you like an advice on performance, but there really isn't anything that I have found that really works. My current suspicion is that layers are like a huge performance eater, because on my other save, on day 185 on this, 158 on this map, I had like, I don't know, like 20 layers in here, and then almost everywhere here also layers on the outer rim, on the expedition area. And all these layers every night just spawned zombies, and then a day they went back into the building, and I had literally 2 FPS, and it was no fun. And yeah, you can see they will probably not make it to me. Can speed it up a little, but they just, yeah, the refugees just love to fight, bro. If they see like a group of zombies out front of the building they're hiding in, they're just gonna storm out and be like, fuck them up, boys, fuck them up. But yeah, they don't care. Even if they have just machetes and there's like 4 people and there's like 2 swarms coming down here, they will try and get at them. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I have no more tips, I think. I could probably keep talking for like 2 hours, but might as well just end it here. And if I have anything else, I'll make another video. Yeah. Starting location matters a lot, but I've talked in my last video way too much on that. So I will not reiterate on that again. Yeah. Have a nice day, and yeah.